through the system, you kind of match each other with ability, and I think then it just comes down to character. Like who's got the most spite, who's willing to dig deep, and it went to the trenches, and I think that's what that fight represented, is that like boxing is a sweet science, but sometimes you can only fight with your heart. You know, the sweet skills go out the window when everything you do is being counter-punched and stuff, so it just became about heart, and I think that's what people want to see, entertainment.
Is that heart something you think you were born with, or something that you've developed in the ring or outside the ring? Where do you think you got that from?
I think you develop it, you know, because we're all born as like little kids in it, and then I think you develop it. But the only thing is that you find out in different things of life, but I found out in a fighting aspect, April 29th, what I'm about. Do you know what I mean? So you only find out when you're put in a situation. And yeah, you stick in there. You can either, sometimes you can't come back, but at that specific moment, but people still carry on. But at that moment, I decided I want to carry on, do you know what I mean? So yeah, at that time, it was crucial to carry on, and I found it in me to get the win.
When you're not in the gym, what do you do to occupy your mind, but also to relax?
Just get organised. I spend so much time in the gym. So Monday to Friday, I'm in the gym. Then weekends, I'm tired, so I'm chilling. So I don't have time to do anything because, like, let's say you got to pay a bill, or you got to go to the bank, or you got to go shopping. I'm in the gym like from first thing in the morning till the evening. So it's just trying to find a way to kind of stay on top of just everyday life things, really, and that's it.
A day in the life of Anthony Joshua when you're not in the ring is just admin, is it?
Yeah, just staying on top of life, I swear, because I spend so much time in the gym that I'm not by my phone for hours. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing my errands for hours. So when I get out, it's like, all right, the one or two things, little to-do lists, but we're all like, it's of nature, innit? We like to get things done, so I'm just trying to attack these little things on my to-do list. Even if it's just go and see someone I ain't seen in ages, or send them a message. It's just for simple things like that.
And are there things that you, obviously when you're in camp, you've got a very strict diet, a very strict regime. Are there things that when you're not in camp that you like to eat, you cheap food or things like that?
Yeah, like I don't look at a menu when I'm at a camp. I just order like a burger and chips. It's always a simple good food, and a bit of apple crumble, ice cream, and stuff like that, really. Because when it's camp, it is like, you do lock yourself down, I think. Fighters do go into that mode when they just switch off from everything. And it's just preparing for the fight ahead. You know you've got 12 weeks, 10 weeks or 8 weeks to get ready for it, so you're doing everything possible to kind of leave no stone unturned.
And if, just on the kind of food subject, if you were hosting a dinner party and you could have 3 people of any era, any, not even boxing related, who would you have and why?
Who would I have and why? Probably a pharaoh from the Kemet times. Egypt was a name that was given by the Romans. So before it was named Egypt, it was called Kemet. So I'll get someone from those times. A pharaoh, I'm not too sure of a name. Maybe, I think his name's Osiris. I won't go into more detail, I don't want to offend anyone. But yeah, maybe someone from then. And then I'll sit down with Jesus, as he was a real human. Do you know what I mean? And I would sit down with who else would I sit down with? Muhammad Ali. I sit down with Muhammad Ali as well. Because I sit down with Muhammad Ali because he's a man of like religion, so he prepares for the life after death, and where he wasn't born Muslim, he would have an open mind. You know what I mean? So he'd have an open mind to Christianity, and when he died, he had like Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Muslims, Jews, all at his funeral, and they all gave a speech. So you can see he's an open-minded man to embrace different thoughts and religions.
And when you were growing up, obviously you got into boxing quite late. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
When I was young?
Yeah.
I wanted to be like a fireman or something like that. You know, just it's exciting, sirens and That was when I was about 6.
Did you play other sports when you were growing up?
Yeah, definitely. Running. Do you know what it is? School sports were sports to kind of, I'm active. You know what it is in school? When you're young, you're full of energy, and teachers make you sit down for so long. So kids that are filled with a bit more energy and life than other kids kind of are called the naughty kids, but they're not. They're just creative. They're active. So I used to use sports to kind of sometimes get out of class and do my activity. So we'll do like cross country. I'll do my 400 metres, 100 metre runs, representing the school at county championships. Played a bit of football, tried a bit of shot put, javelin, do you know what I mean? Anything to kind of get some time out of the class, rugby. But if it was anyone, I think I could have continued with football or running before boxing.
So your life changed when you came here for the first time. What were your first memories of coming into Finchley Boxing Club, and when did you first realise that this was something that you were quite good at and you could maybe pursue?
I remember sitting on the edge and then like watching all the boys train, thinking, I could do this. This looks easy. And then I remember like watching a bit of boxing, do you know what I mean? And thinking, yeah, I throw the jab, and I remember it wasn't even the training, because when you first come boxing, you don't just come in and automatically start throwing 10 punch combinations on the bag. You stand in front of the mirror and you throw a jab, bring it back. You learn the basics. But it was a circuit after that killed me. And I thought to myself, if I'm not even doing the boxing yet and the circuit's killing me, I've got a long way to go. But it was the first time like I was on my own. All the other sports, I was good enough to have a bad day but still get the result. With boxing, I weren't good enough to have a bad day. So anytime I was an inch out, I would learn the hard way in the gym with my coaches or in the ring sparring. So it was just like, either you want to do it and give it your all, or you don't. There's no in between, because you get found out. So just kind of, it took a bit of time, but I started like, getting rid of all the bad habits. It took time, but I kept on working at it. And then I just kind of was entertaining the better habits that would like kind of benefit me in the boxing gym. Because I know I have to come in Monday, I know I've got to come in Wednesday, I know I've got to come in Friday. So it's just predicting what you're going to do through the week to make your life easier when it comes to boxing.
And was there a fight or a tournament when you were a junior or senior when you thought, I could turn pro, I can do something in this sport?
Nah. Like even after the Olympics, I knew I still needed experience. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't a situation where I was like, yeah, I'm ready to turn pro. It took me a year to turn pro, because I was like, I know even now I don't think I've reached my peak. Think about it this way. I was supposed to be going to Rio Olympics 2016 if I was to qualify. I was a 2016 hopeful. So some of the boys ain't even had a pro debut yet. They've had one fight. I've unified, do you know what I mean? So I was not ready to turn pro then. I was like, nah, I need experience. So it's only now I'm starting to come into myself where I'm like, yeah, I know I'm going to start getting better now. I've gone through the experience. I've learned how to jab, right hand. Now I just need to fine tune it and spend a bit more time in the gym. So it's only now, even though we've achieved a lot, as time's gone on, it's only now I started realizing that I can become one of the great athletes of Great Britain.
Is that your motivation? I mean, obviously you've reached the top of the sport. What is it, the one thing that above everything else motivates you to keep going?
Legacy.
Legacy?
Yeah.
Why? What do you want to be remembered for when you retire?
It's up to the people. I don't really. It's what I leave in it. It's just that you helped, isn't it? You help, like, it's foundations. Everyone individually is important, but there's so many people that have helped along the way, innit? So you can go through everyone and help everyone the best way you can. Everyone needs a bit of support, so that's what I want to be remembered as someone you don't forget.
If you could fight anyone of any era, who would it be and why?
Klitschko. That's it. That's a sick fight.
You wouldn't want to go back and fight Muhammad Ali or something?
Holyfield or Riddick Bowe, because those type of fights I like. They were just like the Klitschko fights, Ron Lyle, George Foreman. the same type of fights as the Klitschko fight. So yeah, I'd definitely like to fight the likes of those guys, but because I've experienced it, I wouldn't change it for the world. That was a good scrap, so I'd fight Klitschko again. That's why I was ready to rematch him, because I just like fights like that.
You're obviously in camp more often than not, but is there one part of camp that stands out as the one thing you can't stand?
When it's like I'm shattered, two things I can't stand. I've done 15 rounds on the bag, and I think, all right, perfect, that's me done. And the coach is like, one more, boom, 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 boom. One more, boom, 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 boom. One more, and it's like, mate. Then after, it's like, all right, hey, let's get in the ring. It's not easy when you're shattered. And then it's like, all right, Josh, you're gonna go home Friday. You've done well. You had a tough week, or we'll have a light session. But then Friday comes, and I'm like, he's like, oh, you don't mind staying, do you? You stay later, and we'll have a session. But it's like, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a life, so I've planned everything for Friday, my whole schedule, because remember, I know this is my one day now, and then it's got to be dedicated to boxing again. So it's just boxing, 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 boxing. It's but then you have to do these things to kind of go to that next level. If I was like, nah, coach, I can't be bothered to train, I'm tired, or I don't want to do the extra round. Like even that Klitschko fight, it's all great being champ, but let's say I was 2 inches away from losing. Do you know what I mean? So it's a fine line between winning and losing, so you've got to do those little extra bits.
Yeah, arm underneath me.
And is there anything since you beat Klitschko and kind of shot into superstardom, anything that's surprised you about being heavyweight champion of the world? Anything just on your daily life?
That ain't about superstardom. This is a gladiator sport. I don't think I'm like a celebrity. I don't think I'm not in a role, do you know what I mean? This is real life. This is spit and sawdust, you know? So that's it. It comes with the trappings of success. But remember, this is a gutter sport where you've got to go to the trenches. So don't get too comfortable in your tailored suits and the admiration you get when you're walking down the street, because, you know, when you step into that ring, if I get banged out my next fight, no one's going to be patting me on the back. So you've got to remember where it come from and where you started.
Would you rather retire undefeated or have kind of one of the legendary rivalries, Ali Frazier, Morales, and perhaps lose?
Everyone loves a winner. There's nothing like winning. There's nothing like winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could tell you now, yeah, I'd love a rivalry, but losing drives people mad. Some people to quit, some people, do you know what I mean? I don't know how I could face losing, so I don't know. But it is great to have iconic nights, because it's like, I can name fighters, and I'm not going to say, but there's fighters out there that have had careers, but you can't pick out their memorable nights. They just won. But do you know what I mean? You need those, as you said, Ali, Fraser, George, they are fights that go down in history, so you do need those. But even if I was going to go through that, I'd still have to come out a winner, because everyone loves a winner.
And the big fight coming up is in the next few weeks is Canelo GGG. How do you see that?
I hope Canelo wins. Not that I don't like Triple G, I've just been riding with Canelo for a long time. You know, he's like 26. The man's achieved so much, and he'll be one of the fathers. He's still a baby, but he'll be one of the fathers in the sport. You know, give him another 10 years. He'll be around for a long time, and I think he'll do great things for the sport. So I've been riding with Canelo for a long time, but it's going to be a tough fight, because Triple G, Kazakhstan, got the good foundations of a boxer. But so is Canelo, so I'm going to put my money on Canelo.
And just finally, you haven't been 12 rounds in your career, but I want to give you kind of 12 quick Q&A questions.
Cool. Let's do this.
To find out a bit more about you. So, just one word answer: cinema or Netflix?
Netflix.
Pub or club?
Club.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
Game of Thrones or House of Cards?
Game of Thrones.
City break or like a beach holiday?
Beach holiday.
Love Island or Great British Bake Off?
Great British Bake Off.
Liam Gallagher or Noel Gallagher?
I don't know. Nil.
Steven Gerrard or Frank Lampard?
That's a tough one, that. Stevie G.
Nando's or Wagamama's?
Wagamamas.
tea, do you put your milk in first or your milk last?
I put my milk in last.
Rugby or cricket?
Rugby.
And finally, 100 rabbit-sized Vladimir Klitschko or 1 Vladimir Klitschko-sized rabbit?
Both the same, isn't it?
Which would you rather fight?
Go on, 100.
Vladimir Klitschko, no, 1 Vladimir Klitschko-sized rabbit or 100 rabbit-sized Vladimir Klitschko?
1 rabbit-sized Vladimir Klitschko.
So how has it been being involved in Destiny 2? Is gaming something you enjoy doing?
Yeah, gaming is something I enjoy doing. I've been gaming obviously since I was a kid, innit? And then as you get older,